Hello and welcome back to my I don't know, my fifth or my sixth video. Uh, anyways, this here is a tech demo for CassandraDB. So uh, I've been learning a lot of stuff lately so that I can work on my personal project. And my project is going to be a Web3 business, and we're going to be developing mobile apps and web-based technology to uh, forward my interest in Web3. Anyways, CassandraDB is really complicated to set up. A lot of people end up using the console for testing Cassandra and like pretty much everything because the setup for Cassandra is it's very weird. On the surface, it looks easy. You can just get it up and running, no time, but you have to like run it all the way into the API and like read a lot of stuff to get it running. So I'm just gonna show you guys an example of Cassandra in work. Um, and I'm gonna show my screen, the database itself, the dashboard um, for Astra, right? Astra is the main uh, service provider for Cassandra in a sense, public. There are many private corporations that use Cassandra, like Google, Microsoft, right? AWS, I think, Netflix, and all of those private corporations use Cassandra, but they won't show you how to use it. They won't show you their code. So, in a sense, Astra is like the only public one there. So, let's show my screen here. Um, yeah, so I was just like running all over the place in a sense, like loading a bunch of pages, trying to figure out how to run this. Anyways, the dashboard for Astra is not updating, but I was able to make this using the my integrated. Is my camera still on? No, my cameras are cool. Uh, so as I was saying, the dashboard for Astra is it's not really designed in a way that I don't know. It's not responsive. Like I have a feeling like when I create a uh, key space and I create a table and stuff like that, I'm actually supposed to like see the data within the table when I update it and stuff, but it only shows me the key space once I created it with Python, but it didn't show me the actual data that was in it, that I created in it. Anyways, I'm gonna show you guys. So you have to make an account for Astra, and when you make an account, it's going to allow you to set up your first database, and you're going to name your database, give it a name. This here is just for naming sake, so that you can categorize your databases. The main thing you want to be looking at are the key space, because you need a key space in order to make a table, and your table are inside of the key space, right? There's supposed to be like a drop down in this UI so that I can look at my table, but I cannot see my table, and it's a bit weird. Anyway, I refreshed this page like several times now, and I still haven't seen my table. So let's see. Oh, what is this? One right. Obviously, I created an item in my key space in users, and so I think that was like the one right. And I also did a read before I could actually this here was the read. I got the data out from the table. Anyways, I'm gonna get to that point. Anyway, so this here is the overview, and the cloud provider I'm using in this case here is Google. I already messed around with AWS, and so GCP is the next agenda in a sense. Um, our region is West. I mean, it's US East one, and this here is a free, in a sense, there's a free trial server. So yeah, so I'm not being charged for this right now. Anyways, the business model for Astra is really nice. You pay as you go. It's similar to AWS. Uh, so I really encourage people to check it out because I feel like it is like the only public provider out there to help manage Astra, and it is the best place you can go to learn how to work with Cassandra DB. Um, Anyways, Cassandra is NoSQL, and I have a good experience with NoSQLs, and I enjoy working with JSON type data structure and stuff, and yeah. So we're gonna so with GraphQL, I didn't release a tech demo for GraphQL because I already implemented GraphQL into my system without knowing it. I had to actually read about the GraphQL, and I thought GraphQL itself was a database, but it wasn't. It was a it's a strategy in a sense, and it's a way to send JSON to your API in your request and stuff instead of sending a static URL because um, like I didn't know this, but most developers before they even realized GraphQL existed were sending static URL. Like they send the URL path and then they send the key that they want to get the extract out or the route the route identifier in a sense. So if you are going to www we sell apples and then you want to like get the exact key, maybe you say like green apples listing or something like that, and then you say Apple One or something like that, and then that will route you to the exact path. I mean to the exact API listener, and then the API listener will send you the exact data that you just routed to in a sense. Um, GraphQL, what GraphQL does is it allows you to send an entire JSON payload, and then the API endpoint will actually use that entire JSON data to to do a switch statement or like just find the type of data that you are looking for. And the good part about GraphQL is that it uses TypeScript, which means that when the type is well defined and it is very declarative in a sense that you won't request for a number type data and then receive like a string back because with GraphQL method uh, it is basically a principle or like a rule, right? You're going to define the same type of data on the client side. You're going to define that same type of data on the server side. So when you request that data, that same template will be used. I call them template because that's how I usually uh, like my standard full folder structure standard and programming standard is like I usually have utilities, and then in those utilities I have templates, and it basically define like my types and parsing data and all that stuff. That's how I do mine. So I pretty much had this overall concept nailed down before I actually got into GraphQL, and I like at first I was reluctant to like uh learn about GraphQL. I thought it was really it was going to be super difficult, but in the end that's what GraphQL actually is. It's just a strategy like how to send data to API and how to get data back. And yeah, and I already implemented it, so I'm not really going to try to work it into my solution right now because it's going to break stuff. And Apollo GraphQL has a kitchen system, and that kitchen system doesn't work well with a service worker because like I have service worker implemented by default, and so if I'm trying to implement Apollo as well, that's gonna like it's gonna have a conflict and it's not gonna work. So I tried it. It's not like I'm like predicting what's gonna happen. I tried doing it, but it didn't work. If anybody know how to set that up, I'll be nice. I mean, it'll be nice to comment on it, but I'm sure there's always gonna be a problem once you try to mash the two thing together. Anyways, I'm keeping Redux. Redux is amazing, so I'm gonna keep it. GraphQL is a new concept for most front end developer, but if you're a back end developer, or if you work a lot with back end stuff, I'm not gonna say APIs, because if you work a lot with like cloud infrastructure like VPC and stuff and sending data, like if you made a Socket.io game in the past, for example, like you will probably like it'll be easy for you to understand GraphQL. Um, all right, back to the topic here. This is the console, and this is what most people end up using because setting Cassandra is just really insane. Um, Anyways, it's showing my email, and I'm thinking like it's gonna show something weird after that. Anyways, what else? All right, it's time to show the example, guys. All right, so I set up a I set up the Python tech demo here, and so far, right, I've created a table in the I've created a namespace, I mean a key space in the dashboard here in the database, and in this key space there's a table, and the table name is here, right? So this is the key space user, and this is the table, and you cannot see the table because the dashboard is not loading stuff, and I'm selecting I think one item, right? I'm selecting the first name type key in a sense. This here is a cluster column identifier or definition, whatever you want to call it. So Cassandra is a SQL, but it's not only SQL, right? NoSQL, right? So as you guys can see, we are using select here, and we are using from, select from and stuff. So this is like SQL type of query type of method here. Um, and yeah. Um, so let's I still do have a lot of research to do on the differentiating stuff. So far, what I've learned is that Cassandra cannot allow join like in SQL, and so yeah. So those are stuff that I had to learn. Um, and so let's just run this. I'm wasting you guys time. Python main. All right, so this here, I'm able to run this because I'm inside of the directory itself that has the code itself. So if you have Node.js and you are using npm and you have Python in there, you can also go to your package.json and create an npm run method, and you can have the keyword linked to the root of the Python exe file, the path to the Python exe file, and then the next area you create a path to. Let me actually show it. All right, so you have the path to the Python, and then you have your path to the actual uh, Python script here. Anyways, next thing we have to do is run this. So I created a data inside of the cluster, and the data the first name of the object is Davis or something like that, and the last name is Dataman. So let's see if we actually get that data back. So what this is gonna do is it's gonna get the first row, um, and it's gonna check. All right, it's gonna check for this, the first name, and it's gonna check in the first row. So the item itself, right? Each row is an item in CassandraDB. So that's what we're looking for right now. This here is a cell inside of the row, right? So you'll say row, and then you have inside of that row, right? Let's just say the row is an array, and then you have 1, 2, 3, right? So this 0 here will be in the first column, this 1 will be in the second column, and this 3 will be uh, in the third column, right? So we are getting this 0 item, which is in the first column. And the first column definition, or the cluster column definition is first name, and we are getting the first name value, the key value out of it. So let's do that. Don't fail me, Cassandra. Yay! Okay, it worked. Right. Even though it's working right now, I like seeing the stuff that I do. I like seeing it actually. Right now it's just a basic terminal, right? I don't like doing this. Like I want to actually see the UI, uh how you call it, GUI. I want to see the GUI actually in action. But it's not allowing me, and so anyways, this is Cassandra. This here is a very popular database, and as I was saying, like really huge companies use it. So it's something that anybody should anybody who's interested in working at the big companies out there should be looking into. And that's why I'm actually learning Cassandra. I won't be using this into my personal project. I just feel like this here is for like mega huge projects, and it requires team, like a huge team to be working on of engineers and stuff. So I don't know if I can actually do it all alone. And I'm sure like instead of having Astra, that each one of these huge corporations actually have their own system to interface with Cassandra and stuff. So um, I just wanted to show a tech demo, and I had to use my terminal PowerShell to install a lot of stuff, and I was experimenting. I was All right. I'm gonna stop talking. All right, I'm talking too much about this stuff. Anyways, I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, and yeah, and check me out on LinkedIn, and also follow me there and connect with me if you like software development, engineering, and solving problems like these and stuff. Watching stuff about databases and backend programming and stuff. And I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.